You were able to hack Spotify, basically.
And I did it by myself. I know what's going on behind the scenes.
You're obviously an intelligent guy. How did you get T-Pain on that song, though?
That was the fun shit. That's easy.
Chad Focus made headlines for exposing a shocking reality about the music industry. He artificially boosted his numbers, securing fame, deals, and opportunities, all built on an illusion. Streaming farms, bots. How did you do this?
I'm actually a genius. Every 30 seconds that you listen to a song, that counts as a stream. 1 million streams was making us $4,000. So I needed 1 million Gmail accounts and then create 1 million free Spotify accounts. Those 1 million free Spotify accounts can go listen to my song 1 million times.
Do you believe that the big labels are doing this?
Not believe, I know. The record labels have always manipulated the way that they were going to generate the money and the way that the artist was going to have no fucking clue what was going on until it was too late.
Is this still a thing in 2025?
What did Drake just do?
Great to finally connect, Chad. Great to have you on.
Always a blessing, man. Mr. Asa, the guy. Am I saying it correctly?
Asa.
Asa.
You can call me whatever you want.
Brother Asa. No, sir. I will call you what your parents named you, and I will do it with respect and love.
Oh, that's good. That's good. This one is fascinating. Ever since I read about your story, your venture in music, I was like, I got to talk to this guy. This guy is onto something, and this is going to be like most people. We see the music industry. It's glitz, it's glamour, it's beautiful, and it's often easy for people to forget that the music business is a business.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like that was kind of what you were able to hack, because you had some ideas a couple of years back that you wanted to test out, and that led you to achieve amazing success, but also a detour to jail. And let's start with recapping that story, because it's an interesting one. Let's go back about 10 years.
I'll break it to you like this. First of all, if nobody's noticed, I'm black. African American, young black dude from United States. I'm 37. Most of us do not make it to this age. That's facts. So the risks of being black in America is way crazy than trying to figure out the music industry. I'm not supposed to be here today if you look at statistics. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, man. Crime, violence, drugs have affected all of us, man. The affluent and non. It's just what it is when you have the skin color, right? So I am a person that is super honest and self-aware. I identify based off of facts first and foremost, right? So it's not risky to me to do anything that I did. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. If you do your research, one of the most beautiful cities in the world for people that don't look like me, and one of the worst places on earth for people that do look like me. I've always been the #1 guy in my class, bro, because there's not a lot of slots. We have something here, bro, that was called affirmative action. That meant that if you're black, you would have to be #1 in your class, the highest tested, the highest scored, the most popular, just to have an opportunity to go to school with young white folks, or to get jobs, or to get opportunities. When you have those type of things that are in front of you before you're born, you are already behind the 8 ball. So I identify with the reality. I do not get emotional with it, and I do not get sensitive with the bullshit that other people do not want to talk about. That's what makes me different, first and foremost, bro.
It hurts me to hear you say this. Is this still a thing in Baltimore? I have never been there. I've heard rumors. I've seen documentaries, but is this still a thing in 2025?
Of course. And not just Baltimore, bro. It's the United States of America. It's impossible to be a young black man in America. That's why there's not a lot of us that are successful. If you guys look at what we're dealing with, our billionaires are under scrutiny right now, and hip hop mainly, right? Look what they've done to Kanye West. Crazy man, bipolar. He hates the Jews. Okay. Say so. Puff Daddy, sexual assault. They threw away his whole career, his entire legacy. He has a RICO case with one person, himself. So where are his criminal organization? Also, he's assaulted all these victims. Okay, there's victim 1. Who else is the other victim? Him and Cassie got into a discrepancy. They had what they were trying to do as far as behind the scenes. She wanted to get $30 million in a lawsuit. One day he said, hell no. Then the next day that it came public with the video and assault, he settled immediately. Yeah. These things that happened to Diddy did not happen until he also filed a lawsuit against Diageo for what he felt like was unfair practices in the spirits game, right? He wanted a couple $2 billion. He had the De Leon liquor, and they were not planting his agave, but George Clooney had all the agave fields. So even how you treat our black billionaires versus the white billionaires, people don't want to have those conversations.
But this is
George Clooney
you're throwing a
versus
lot
Diddy.
on me here. So this is I like that we go here. This is just going. This is already I hear that this is going to be a good one. But like when you mentioned Kanye,
I'll dial it back. I'll break it. What I'm doing is that I'm painting a picture of what it's like to be black and want to be successful. First and foremost.
And that I believe. Like generally, I still, unfortunately, I think it's a shame, and I think it hurts me to hear. But I still think that, unfortunately, that you're right in that. I feel like your examples with Kanye is like he helps. Like he's not doing anything better by his tweets and the Diddy case. And also, to be fair, there are white billionaires. So like Jeffrey Epstein, I don't think he has been treated like perfectly by the system, or maybe he has been treated the way he should be treated for the things he's been doing. But anyways, I think that you are right. Unfortunately, in what you're saying, that it is much tougher to be a black man in the U.S.
I'm painting a picture so you can kind of understand just where the motivation comes from, like how it starts, right? So just step into my world for a second, and it'll make everything make sense. When you watch this back, it won't sound like he's rambling. It will sound like, okay, he's painting a picture. All those things we just said, right? Donald Trump is our president. No filter, says whatever he wants, and is outwardly affluent, right? Facts. Yeah. That's the president of the United States, bro. Cool. So, most powerful person in the world. Then you got Elon Musk. Then you got a couple black guys that speak their mind, whether right or wrong. They're in prison, right? Donald Trump got an indictment for RICO. He got out the same day, and then he became president of the United States, and he pardoned everybody. And then he put the light on everybody that he had an issue with. So what I'm telling you now, bro, is I'm just a young guy that understood the reality of what I was going to try to accomplish. And it comes from me being super aware. It comes from me having amazing parents that raised me very well. And then it starts off with why I get into the music industry. Why did ownership matter to me? I looked at what happened with Michael Jackson. I'm looking at even what happens with Drake. And I said that if you can own your catalog, if you can figure out the business and the creative process that nobody speaks about, because all we talk about is the art, bro, the music. Nobody talks about the business. When nobody that looks like me understands the business or talks about the business. Even worse, I wanted to be that person. The first person that said, you know what, let's prioritize what makes sense. The equity, the business, the infrastructure, and the admin. And that is, bro, a combination of, like I said, upbringing and being self-aware of all these things that we're talking about. Jay-Z, look at the screening he's underneath of right now. We just lost Irv Gotti. Nobody celebrated this man's life and career. You know, actually people celebrated his demise, right? Look at what's going on with Big Meech and BMF and him and 50 Cent having their beefs. Look at what happened with Michael Jordan. His son just got arrested for cocaine, right? Look at what's happening with Drake and LeBron. So there are 10 billionaires. I just described 8 of them. And all of these guys have to deal with more controversy than being celebrated for their success, for being pioneers, and for doing the things they did that was amazing. Now we step into this and how it relates to Chad Focus. I am the only independent Billboard charting artist who has went to all the platforms and turned them all down, that owns more catalog than any executive that you'll ever bring on to this interview or likewise. And I did it by myself, and literally by myself, right? Yeah. So I'm in that space, man, where now you understand what the motivation is, what the facts are, what drives me. We can have a conversation about everything that you want, because I painted kind of the picture. The picture, like, who the hell is this guy and what drives him? And then everything else that makes sense going from there.
Yeah. And you're obviously an intelligent guy who's thought stuff through, which makes you, in my opinion, inspiring and interesting. So, but could you take us back? And I know you've told this story several times. You've been on Vice, you've been featured a lot of places. But for this audience, would you please like tell the story briefly, like recap it? If you go about 10 years back, and you've had this idea of trying to make it in the music industry, like where? You touched upon it. Where did this come from? Like why music?
My background, man, I played classical piano for 10 years. You know, when I got to the age of 18, I played from 8 to 18. I could never read music. So I learned by the gift of being able to hear. And then I was also able to watch somebody, which was my instructor, play the music. And then I could play it back just off of gift. Never could read the music. I spent a lot of time, bro, enjoying music, but I wasn't a hip hop fan. I love classical music. I love Joplin. I love old school music, man. I love the Lenny Williams, man. I love the Al Greens. I love the Temptations. So I am a music connoisseur based off of instrumentation and musicianship, bro, and just the skill set that these guys possess. And then it came to wanting to be like a Berry Gordy, bro. I wanted to be a Quincy Jones. I love the creators. I love the producers. I love the ones that allow these people to have the opportunities to be able to give us the art. So I fell in love with all of it, just the culture, right? My cousin, man, his name is Troyce, aka Brandon Williams. He was working in California, bro, and he was doing a lot of sync licensing, but he sold away his rights. So for $500 a song, he was working with a group of guys that would take his music and place it on TV shows, place it in movies, and he would get a check, a front end check, an advancement, never any back end money. Now, $500 is a lot of money for one song. $500,000 is what they made from those songs that he sold to them. All right. So what that helped me understand is that somebody's getting paid a lot of money. They're taking a hit on the front end and they're getting generational wealth on the back end because of the infrastructure. My cousin, bro, wanted to start his own record label. He wanted to also put out his own mixtapes and projects, and he wanted to have an opportunity to become a solo artist. Yeah. Just like your Jay-Z's and Dame Dashes and your Irv Gotti's and your Diddy's. These young men did not get an opportunity with the Def Jams and the RCAs and the Interscope, so they created their own record labels. And so me and my cousin started our own record label, which AKA is a publishing company. So publishing is the fact that we create these records, we own the instrumentation, we own the production, we own the lyrics, and then we go and record on these records. And then we go and do the admin work so that we own the publishing, so that one day when somebody purchases the record or they listen to it on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube, we get compensated for that. And that was what intrigued me the most. Let's put together an operation where you can go out here and be an artist and we can get compensated for that art and have enough money in a gainful way that we can take care of families. Yeah. And I fell in love with what does that process look like, right? Already extremely talented, but no motion, no traction, no eyes, no exposure. So if somebody is extremely talented and nobody knows, are they still talented? That's the thing to think about.
It's the Buddhist, like, well, what's the sound of a tree falling in the woods where nobody's there to hear it? So,
yeah. So even better, I went and found the bird that seen the tree fall, and I took their eyeballs. That's how I look at things, bro. I'm super sarcastic but paradoxical on everything that I speak about, because I think about things like that nobody thinks about, right? When we were younger, they kept talking about these trees falling and nobody being there to hear them. And I asked them, how is that possible? Because if the earth shatters or shakes, somebody was there to hear it. Let me go find the person who experienced that tree falling. Like, that's my mind, bro. Yeah. And we've been here doing this music thing, man, and my cousins were doing it for a decade before me. That was their hobby. And as an adult, when you have children, hobbies have to become things that sustain and make income and generate 100%. Value, because you can't get back time, and you can't tell your lady or your guy or whoever you're with or whatever you choose to be, or your kids, that you are spending time doing your hobby when you're supposed to be providing for them and spending time with them. So I had to make it make sense. Yeah. And that was the goal, bro.
And this is so important. What you're saying here is that I think the reason why the business, the music business is the way it is that most songwriters, producers, artists, they aren't in it for the money, first and foremostly. They understand eventually that at some point we have to make money or else we can't be doing this. But they are in it for the legacy and mostly the legacy. And the ones
even
that
worse,
succeed,
they're in it for the fame.
Yeah.
They're in it for the bullshit. Excuse my
likes.
Language. The likes, the follows, the comments, the views. It is a vanity project. What more can you want other than to have people recognize you when they see you? That's vanity, bro. And if you look at the core of what that is ego. So it is also a sickness.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right? I'm from a place, bro, like I said, I'm from Baltimore. All of my cousins can sing, rap. All of my aunties can sing and rap and dance. So nobody stands out, bro. And we all look the same. So now what makes you different or unique? Nothing. This is default, bro. I'm from a talented culture, of talented people. Most of my friends are tall and black and strong, like me. I'm 6'5", 250. I came out of the womb being able to run, jump, and do it better than everybody else, bro. It's nothing exceptional about anything. I was born this way, and so were my cousins, right? I say all that to say what makes you unique is figuring out the way that you are able to share your default gift with others and them appreciate what they have not seen before. That's exposure, right?
So it's all about getting noticed, and that was what you understood at some point, that we need traction. Sense. We need traction.
Yeah,
we need people to see us.
If you think that you're this amazing, we need to do the work for other people to know how amazing you are. Or shut up and leave me alone, cuzzo. That's what I had to tell those guys.
Yeah.
So my job was to figure out the marketing, which I was really versed in. I was working at a company called Agora. So I had taken a startup role from, a few $1 million to $1 billion company. That was eventually the company that I did get in trouble with. My skill set was automation, AI, systems, back-end development, IT, coding.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. How did you get into IT? Because
went to college, man, McDaniel College. I wanted to do computer engineering. I couldn't afford the books. So instead, I used YouTube to teach me how to become a computer engineer. And I took communications in school because the curriculum was a little bit easier and manageable with what I was going through in life. I was young, my family didn't really know and have the income to support what I was doing as far as the college dream. And, my father was an entrepreneur, but he didn't get the whole college experience. So that wasn't something that he not supported, but he said, if you want to do it, you figure it out, which I respect as well as a man, right? I played basketball in school. I also worked. And communications, I knew that the ability to deliver your message or to have the skill set that I know I have, bro, which has been a people person and a charisma and to be engaging, I wanted to work on that. That would take you much further than being just a computer engineer, right? You can finesse that ability if you get a job one day and they teach you. So I understood the world at an early age. And also in college, bro, YouTube became very big where you could start to use those educational videos to teach you in real time from people that had already learned. College is based off of a curriculum that's dated, right? So I'm going here to get A's, B's, and C's. You can't teach me how to have a skill set. So I went to school for the curriculum and for the paperwork and for the degree, right? Because me and you know what that looks like to be able to fit the bill. And then I also use YouTube as the real world education and knowledge. And then I use trial and error, bro, to hone my skill set. And that was the combination of how I wanted to approach the world. 2012, I had my kid and I got hired at Agora that year. 4-month contract, bro. It was, a contract for as a probation. Get us these results and you'll have a job forever. And my job was to help them rank their website in Google for certain keywords that their past clients had come to the website for and paid money. So they're called buyer keywords, Asa. And that means that they sell products. People search for keywords. If we can get their content to show up high in Google for these same keywords, they will get more traffic, more sales, more conversions. And I get a commission based off of the amount of traffic that we drive after the net profit of the advertising systems.
Were you a contractor or were you hired at the company?
I was a contractor originally for the first 4 months. After that, I became a full-time employee. I became the highest paid employee at, all affluent company. Of course, the only young black guy working there, man. So this was my experience also in college. I was the only young black guy in all of the classes in college. I went to McDaniel. So my 17 to 21, only young black dude at McDaniel College really doing his thing. Was a couple of us here, a couple sprinkles. And then when I went to corporate America, I was the only young black dude working there, man. And my job was to help them build newsletters and to drive traffic through the search engines. And that's when I became a search engine optimization specialist.
I see. Okay, so back to the music journey with your cousins. Then at what point did you decide to launch your own music project, Chad Focus?
2015, 2016, we launched Choices Project. I didn't launch my Chad Focus project until I figured out clearance. So he had a record with Mary J. Blige, and she was a part of the sample. And the song cost me $30,000. Music video, production, album, video shoots, wardrobe, traveling, promo, like all of these different things. And there was no conversation on how we was going to generate revenue. How do I spend $30,000, which takes us an ungodly amount of time for me to generate because it's coming out of my pocket? And what is the revenue, right? So all they knew was we do shows. Well, we're paying for you to be on the shows. How do we get paid if I pay for you to be on the show? So that's what an opening act is. It's a finesse.
Yeah.
All the opening acts, until you're famous enough, bro, they're all paying to be on those stages. I don't care who it is or what it is. They're all paying for the exposure and the clout.
And you did, so for your cousin, you did then the label, the publishing, and the management. You did everything.
So the whole nine. So he had his own label first, and I was all of the bells and whistles around what his label was. All right. So he had Dice Committee. And then I started to see Spotify pick up steam. And then we started to realize, oh shit, people get paid based off of how many listens you get to a song. Then we realized that's what a stream is. And then I said, how much do you get paid per stream? Okay, 0.001 cent per stream. So I started to do math, bro. Okay, 1,000 streams does this, 1,000,000 streams does this, blah, blah, blah. And then one day I realized, because we got a small royalty check, that 1,000,000 streams was making us $4,000. How can I have you produce this music, own this music, and now we do the marketing and promotions for us to get 1,000,000 streams and for us to have net profit from those streams? Right?
That's a great question. I think a lot of people still to this day is not thinking that clearly about it.
Yep. So in 2016, right? So this is 9 years ago that I said, hold up. Now we have a mechanism. Prior to that, right, it was CDs, it was vinyls, it was physical copies. And I fell in love with 50 Cent and Kanye West, bro, back on the 106 and Park days. 50 Cent went and became independent. He only sold about 600,000 copies of the album. Kanye West sold about 1.1 million. And Kanye was with Def Jam. And then 50 Cent came and said something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. He said they paid for that. They paid for that #1. Now, for everybody else, they just thinking that 50 Cent's talking shit, because that's what 50 does. 5 talk shit. I listened. He had just done 10 million sales, right? Yeah. A diamond record. And so he knew what it looked like marketing-wise for him to be #1 and how to have astronomical success. And he understood the inner workings of the albums and the industry. So if 50 Cent was the biggest shit in the world, because I know you remember when that was.
Yeah.
And then one day they decided Kanye West is the next new big shit. That meant all of this was manufactured. Not saying they're not talented, but somebody's pulling strings to put these guys in position. That rung a fucking bell in my head. And that's why when we came to the streams, I realized, oh shit, they're controlling the price per the streams. It's not uniform. It's not an industry standard. Apple pays this, Tidal pays this, Napster pays this, Spotify pays this. Spotify has the popularity of having all the users, but Spotify can't have all these people listening to its platform. It's brand new. Oh shit. They are gaming the shareholders because they have botted all of these fake accounts so that when they report to CNN and CNET and Fox News of having all these users, other people are going to come. So I understood the game of the smoke and the mirrors.
Yeah, this is interesting because this to me is kind of a common denominator of your whole story. It's all about psychology, and it seems to me that you understood this at an early age. Is that we humans, we are flock animals. We want to go where we believe that everybody else is going. And if you can hack me and trick me to believe that everybody else is moving in that direction, most likely I will also move in that direction.
Yep,
so what you're saying now, this is important. You believe that in the early days of Spotify, and maybe still to this day, that Spotify themselves were using bots to trick their shareholders, to boost their stock price, and to trick the news outlets and stuff.
It's worse. I help them do it because I am the platform. I'm the blueprint, right? If I build my own streaming farm and I'm capable of doing what they're doing on a smaller level, I know they're doing this on a massive level. I started building streaming farms and bots when I was at Agora because my job was to make it look like they were more popular than they were online. Because I was able to gain their popularity, they were able to get traffic for Alibaba stock and Facebook, IPOs, releases, gold, silver. When people used to go to Motley Fuel, they used to go to CNN, they used to go to MSNBC. Now we have this little small publishing website in Baltimore getting all that traffic. If you go look in Google right now, there's a price per keyword. I eliminated their pay per click department because I was getting all of the same traffic now organically. Organically means people come to Google, they type something in and they think it just shows up. So it's #1. Now, if it says paid, we know it's an ad. I hacked Google. So when people went to Google, it was the ultimate cosign for Agora and their content. And people came there and they used Google as the trust. Yeah. If Google says it's number one, I trust. So they made Agora billions of dollars. I eliminated the ad budget and I signed a contract with them where they were supposed to pay me 10% of every lead I brought in there and the lifetime amount of the lead turning into a subscriber. So every dollar that subscriber brought into the company based off of the traffic that I drove, based off the systems that I built, Asa, I should be worth $4.6 billion. Not a guy that they say stole $4.1 million.
Yeah. No, we'll get back to the stolen money. At least what they claim. But you said something there. We have to just to people. This is moving fast. So streaming farms, bots like this. It's kind of again a common denominator here.
Manipulate perception.
Yeah, but can we be specific? Like, how did you do this? Like, did you buy phones? Do you buy? Is the service you can buy?
Have you seen the Vice? Have you seen the Vice TV documentary I have?
Yes, I have.
So you seen when they showed you my streaming phone?
Yeah.
You know exactly how this is. That's where this is a part of the show, right? Where you say, do. Guys, go watch this on Vice TV so you can see this in real time. Because Chad shows you the phones and he shows you the storage units with the computers and he shows you the technology with the VPNs and the software that has 1 million Spotify accounts that will listen to his songs every minute. Every 30 seconds that you listen to a song, Asa, that counts as a stream. I knew how to time all of these different computer programs and different accounts, which we were creating with Fiverr.com. So I hired all of my young Indian and American friends and Pakistani homies around the world. These are third world engineers that you can get the best bang for your buck to help you assist in what systems you're creating. So I needed 1 million Gmail accounts because 1 million Gmail accounts can then create 1 million free Spotify accounts.
Yeah.
Then those 1 million free Spotify accounts can go listen to my song 1 million times, Asa. Now, how much did it cost for me to build this system? $400. How much money was I paid from my distributor when I own 100% of my music and I do 1 million streams inside of my back office? $4,000. So I was spending $400 and making $4,000 over again until I got tired of it.
Yeah. And this is interesting. And what you claim is that, let me ask this be precise. Do you believe that the big labels are doing this? They used to do it, and are they doing this today still?
Not believe, I know. It's like you're talking to Santa Claus and asking him, is Christmas real? And you got the reindeers. Yes, it's me, guys. So this is what happens, bro. They cannot do a TV show and a documentary on you if what you're saying is false. I've literally showed you guys this over and over again. If I was lying, I would have got hit with a defamation charge. What did Drake just do? Drake just said what? I'm suing Universal Music Group for using the bots for Kendrick Lamar to explode his popularity even more than what it really was supposed to be. Go look at the lawsuit. So if you're saying, is this still happening? Why would Drake risk his entire fucking career, guys, if it wasn't happening? He just sued Universal Music Group for what me and you are talking about happening in present day with Not Like Us. Right now, today. Yeah. It happens. It will always happen. You can't stop it.
And so you guys, you were able to perfect this system, and you were able to hack Spotify basically and get a lot of streams. For this was this after you had launched your Chat Focus project, or was this with your cousin at first?
Yeah, so it was after I launched my Chat Focus project, and I'll tell you why. My cousin was in the belief that everything should happen organic, so he just wanted the music and the numbers to speak for itself, whether I went bankrupt or not. That's just how it works. Spend the money and they will come and find it. No, buddy, no, that does not work for me. So once I realized how other artists were making money behind the scenes, I realized they didn't know, Asa. Only the record labels knew. Because your artists come and they sign a record deal, they sign away their rights. When you sign away your rights, you don't get to go sit in marketing meetings and figure out how you get on the radio. You just show up to the radio station and do interviews. You don't be a part of the marketing budgets for the billboards and the campaigns and the studios. You just go and create the art. So you have signed to be strategically ignorant to the process of the marketing and how you actually become a household name. They don't know. Go watch an interview with 90% of our favorite artists and them talk about, I never got paid, or I never got a royalty check, or the label says that I owe them money. So from the beginning of the contract, when they gave you their lawyers and they gave you an advance and they made an infrastructure where you had to pay them points back on an album, and an album based off of what money they spent on the marketing, and you don't understand the system, it has always been set up that way. From the vinyl to the CD to the stream, the music industry and the record labels have always manipulated the way that they were going to generate the money, the way that they were going to break even off the marketing budget, and the way that the artist was going to have no fucking clue what was going on until it was too late. I caught on super early. I went to every streaming platform myself. So I dropped my project. I paid my producer $10,000 for me to own all of the music 100%. So that means I exclusively own all of my records, right? If you go on BMI, you'll see that Chad had owned all of his records. The good part about it is once you own all of your music, now you can see how the money comes back to you 100%. So every time I get paid, I need 100% of that dollar to know what's really happening. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even the distro that you decide. Let's go to DistroKid, guys, so we get 100% of our one stream. So if it's 0.001 penny that we get for every one stream, I want 100% of that 0.1 penny. First and foremost.
How did you do that, though?
Because I own the records. I did all of my own publishing and admin. So I do my own BMI. I did my own copyrights. I did my own song trust. I did my own sync licensing, my own sound exchange. I did my own distro with DistroKid and TuneCore. I did the research. And then I went and created Dance With Me, which is a fucking monster of a record. And then I said, I'm going to put T-Pain on this record. So I own everything because I was calculated, bro, and diabolical, strategic.
How did you get T-Pain on that song, though? Like, I really don't think it's just like he needs either a lot of money or you had to know
the songs
someone.
are shit. The song is the shit, first and foremost, right? I'm from Baltimore. I'm using a beat that's from my hometown. It's like if you're from Norway and you make some dope shit and you go get fucking Tommy Lee or Usher or Rihanna because you're from Norway and you made some dope shit and they want to come to Norway, they'll fuck with you. So I'm from Baltimore, bro. I created a record that was based off of a Baltimore theme. Go listen to Dance With Me. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it 20 times and then you'll understand what's going on. Huh?
Where can people find Dance With Me?
Check it out on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
so
should do that.
you got to definitely check it out, man. So Dance With Me was the record, bro. And I had a young kid that was doing the writing and production and audio engineering with me. And I thought it was the best record on my album. It was the first record I ever recorded. I recorded it with the intention of being a one-hit wonder because I found out that Trinidad James and Designer, who made the song Panda, Trinidad James made the song All Gold Everything. They made $10 million from one song, but they did it by mistake. I was doing this intentionally.
Yeah.
Let me go intentionally make $10 million and not go walk around looking stupid when people say, where's the next single? There is no next single. This is it.
Yeah.
You understand me? So I strategically, bro, was shooting to be a one-hit wonder so that I could reinvest the money into my guys who were die-hard artists. And once I had figured out the system and had all the machines and the relationships in place, then I could just press the button over and over again like a record label, like Jimmy Iovine, like Clive Davis, who just find artists and press the same fucking button over and over again. It's not difficult.
But I have to ask again, and it's fine if you don't want to answer this, but what does it cost to get T-Pain? How will one go about that?
The feature cost $12,000. All right. The feature was $12,000. The finder's fee for his guys that got the record for me was $8,000. And the music video cost $30,000. All right. So I'll put it like this. It was a $12,000 feature. All right. At the time that I needed T-Pain to be on the record, it was already on Billboard charts. So I had already done the promotions for the record to be a Billboard charting record. So I used clout. Clout is I need you to hop on this Billboard charting record. I found one of his handlers. We were at CIAA. That is a very big cultural moment in black culture here in the United States. So it's North Carolina. CIAA is a big basketball tournament. Parties, clubs, performances. I put my CD in all of the Sprinter trucks. So I gave it to the security officers so that people that would never find me or listen to my music were forced to listen to good music. I will enforce my will like Thanos. I'm inevitable. Yeah. So I made sure that the people that might want to feature on a record like mine, Chris Brown, Tank, Lloyd, August Alsina, T-Pain, Tory Lanez, I made sure that they would hear my record. And the cosign, that's the ultimate cosign, is the radio. Yeah. Or it's also your manager, or it's also your security guard, or it's also the driver of your Sprinter vans. So I know how to use the psychology of who tells you about me.
Yeah.
Now you're in my back pocket because of who told you about this guy, who told you about this record. And then it was a good fucking record, Asa. So if I put a bunch of trash, if I put a record of me farting on a record and they play it in the car, nobody cares. Yeah, that's how I knew Dance With Me was a good record. Because when T-Pain heard it, he said, who the fuck is this? Some kid from Baltimore, let's check him out. I had already charted on Billboard. I had a nice image and I was moving around and making moves. So it made sense. Yeah. And at the time, T-Pain was having a slow period. Jay-Z had released Death of Auto-Tune. A lot of people had been giving him a lot of flack because of all these artists that couldn't sing using auto-tune to create hit records. And he hadn't had a hit record in a while. So $12,000 when you used to have $40 million in the bank and you don't have a lot of money anymore is a lot of money for you to do a feature on a record that people might never hear. What I was assuming that because he was T-Pain, if I create a record and I put it on Apple Music, people will just find it. If I still don't know about Dance With Me, it means it doesn't work like that, guys. So I found out the hard truth. Even T-Pain is not T-Pain without marketing or the machine. That's why he fell off. Because they stopped pressing the buttons, bro. He went from Sprung and Bartender and doing records with Chris Brown like Kiss Kiss to not being relevant. He has more number ones than 99% of every artist of all fucking time. And when's the last time he had a hit record?
Yeah, and this happens all the time, of course, as well. This is not just T-Pain. T-Pain's just another guy.
The record labels have a machine, bro. I rebuilt the machine.
Yeah.
If they had their own machines, your favorite artists would just release music and press buttons. Nope, they go independent and then they disappear from mainstream.
Yeah. But let's go back to but you didn't do this solely based on the streaming farms, because you also understood that to really get paid, you have to think wider. Please elaborate on that.
It's just a piece, bro. So the streaming farms is the most economical way to get rich. I can sit in a house and turn $400 into $4,000. That's facts. Then I'm actually a genius and I know how to build relationships. So all the people that do shows, I was friends with those guys. So I throw shows too. You get what I'm saying? Like events, promotions. Yeah. Like I also do merch. I got the Focus line and the hats and the glasses and the jackets, and I'm a swaggy young guy. So I understand e-commerce, right? I was on Spotify with Adrian Morrison and Adam Morrison before you guys knew what Shopify was. So I had one of the first Shopify stores. I was doing drop shipping, right? I was putting my t-shirts on the website, for $50, getting all the money for 100 t-shirts and then buying them in bulk from Alibaba and having them do all the drop shipping for me. Like, I understand marketing and systems. It's hard because nobody really understands how fucking smart you are until you get in the trouble I got into. But I was doing this shit, bro, for the last 20 years. I was one of the first people that had Bitcoin, bro.
But you also
I had different ways to diversify the money I was making. And it was because what I looked like that nobody was really realizing what I was teaching them and showing them. But if I was a young white dude, everybody would have caught on.
Yeah. But you also understood. You also understood the importance of the DJs. Like in the olden days, you had this payola thing where the record labels had to pay the different radio stations, or they actually paid the DJs to promote their songs and play their songs. And of course, I think to this day they still pay you a lot from radio.
Even better, radio pays you the most.
Exactly.
So I'll break it down to you like this. I can show you a royalty check, and it would make you cry. This is how the radio works. Radio is based off a media base, all right? And this is going to be some shit that
base? You have to explain this for idiots like me from Norway.
I got you. So look, we have something called Clear Channel and iHeartRadio, all right?
Yeah. Clear Channel, of course, is the billboards. I think we also have Clear
Channel owns all of the radio.
Yeah. Okay.
They use the billboards to sell their friends and artists who have brands because they own the radio. The billboards are a decoy so that you don't know that they own all of the air stations and airways. Clear Channel owned iHeartRadio. Yeah. Clear Channel owns 90% of all the radio stations. Asa, are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
So, media base are the qualified radio stations under Clear Channel that when you get a spin on their platforms, you get credit. Then they use those as metrics in Nielsen to look at how many plays you got on media base to decide who gets credits towards being a Billboard charting artist. So if you can have relationships with media-based radio stations, you can manipulate how many spins you get that actually count towards you qualifying for a Billboard charting record. The DJs that are on these radio stations are only media-based when they're working at the radio stations, not when they're at home just DJing on their Serato. That's where payola came from, because if Asa is my friend and he has other friends and he has other friends and I give him $10,000, they will play my record on the radio. They will build me an audience, and they will also get me stats inside of Nielsen that qualifies me for Billboard. Then when I get onto the Billboard charts, I can use the clout of, hey, I'm a Billboard charting artist, for people to book me or for them to do what the hell I want them to do. All of it is a system, bro. And I watched and then I manipulated the system. So the streams, that was the fun shit. That's easy. Now let's talk about how I move people around. All right. Dating a young girl. Her dad is the senior vice president of Clear Channel. She is in love with me. She allows me to buy radio and billboard promotions on fire sale, which means that Asa, the billboard costs $30,000 the 1st through the 30th of the month. On the 31st day, she calls me and says that same billboard is now $1,000. So what do I say, Asa? Give me 30 billboards for $30,000 instead of one for $30,000, and she gladly does it. All right. You fucking with me now? Are you getting where I'm going at, bro? I'm relationship based, because once I have the relationships, then I have the information.
Because it sounds very old school, very retro, analog to use. Because it's physical billboards, like it's why, like so you knew that the billboards would get you the radio plays and the media base. That was the whole journey here.
I was cleaning money. If I buy $100,000 worth of billboards and I only use $20,000 worth of those billboards, now Clear Channel has to cut me a rebate check of $80,000.
Yeah, which you can use to do
whatever I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart. Are you following me?
Yeah, it's smart.
So now I am famous-ish or not, right? So I have the biggest billboards in all of the United States. So how can Clear Channel tell people that billboards make you money if I'm on all the billboards and nobody knows who the fuck I am? I have a billboard wrapped around the Donald Trump building, Citibank in New York City, the biggest billboard on earth. Then I have one on 42nd Street, 6 stories high, as soon as you get off the bus at Madison Square Garden. So who is this big black guy? Nobody asked the question. I said, oh, billboards don't mean shit. So now I'll just use them to clean money and to use them as promotional tools. So if I screenshot them or I do video promotional content with them, I can make waves off of content with my billboards, right? Yeah. Billboards wasn't going to send me a massive amount of traffic. I understood that that was all a decoy. All right. Also, the money I was spending with Clear Channel got me relationships with other people that was also doing relationships with Clear Channel. Who is this young black guy? And I was the client of the quarter. So now you come into Billboard or Clear Channel and you see a face of me, pretty black guy. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's Chad Focus. So now I have used their clout to make other important people ask, who is this guy? Yeah. Right? Now I'm also forcing those guys to want to spend more money on billboards because they think they work.
Yeah.
If you are rich and white and you see a young black guy and think that he's rich and black and he's making more money than you want to spend money now just to show off. So I knew how to make my competitors come out to play. All right. Then I started my own marketing company where I would buy the billboards and then resell the billboards for more than I paid for them. Then I became a reseller, Asa, and this is when I became super diabolical. I purchased a billboard for $1,000 and I sit on it for a long time. And then I resell it for $10,000 to my competitor, but they don't know it's me.
But this sounds like a lot of. So you did this again for making money, like that, because it sounds like
power,
a lot of energy spent, not getting your career.
Easy. It was easy, bro. It wasn't about the music. It was about more than the music. It was about influence. Music is easy. I'm from a place where young black men kill each other every day over food and territory. I'm trying to tell you that it was about influence. I was trying to change the world. You have to make this the most massive conversation. It's bigger than music. The music is the shit that brings the people together. Music is what's on all the radio stations. I am behind what the systems are. I am behind what the influence is. I want to know why Jack Dorsey sells Twitter to Elon Musk, and then Elon Musk uses Twitter to allow free speech and then to help Donald Trump to get elected for president. It's bigger than just the music, Asa. It is about influence. It is about control. It is about how the fuck do we put ourselves in position to have a seat at the world and to have control over what happens in the future of the world, bro. Communications, right? Music, the airways, what we say over those radio stations matters. If 1 billion people watch this interview, going to change the world. If I go on Joe Rogan and do the same interview that me and you are doing, then it matters. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I go do the same interview that me and you are doing on The Breakfast Club or Oprah or Kelly Clarkson, it matters in a different way. Or if I do it on Vice TV, it's cool. If I do that same documentary on Netflix, I'm a gazillionaire. So you understand what I'm saying, bro. It's about influence, bro. It's about techniques. It's about skill sets and strategies. Once I figured out how all of that works, and the psychology of how all of that mattered, I control the streams. I figured out the platforms. I can build the systems. You can't duplicate the relationship I built with a young lady that told me all the information about Clear Channel, that was mad at her daddy, and her dad was mad at her for dating a black guy. All of that shit mattered. So I was playing the influence game. Also, the media base means that there are DJs from your local neighborhood that think that they're popular and important. I was able to show them that they weren't because they didn't have the media-based tag. It forced them to be accountable to be better. My DJ pool was Coast to Coast, Vertigo, DigiWax, and then I became the face of something called MP3 Wax. I have DJs all across the world, Asa, that play dance with me, whether you hear it or not. So I have a fan base and I have an amazing song, but I'm too important to focus on having a #1 record. I have to focus on changing the world. Say I'm crazy if you fucking want. It doesn't matter to me. I know what's going on behind the scenes. All right. I can press a button right now and Dance With Me be the #1 record in the world, like Jello, who's got that song Tweaker out, who's LiAngelo Ball. He's LeVar Ball's son. He's LaMelo Ball and Lonzo Ball's brother. Tweaker's the biggest shit in the world because I understand how world star hip hop works, and DJs, like, we got that. The DJs control your safety. So when I used to go into different cities and towns, they would protect us and allow me to come and bring my movement to their city safely. Show me all around. Take me to this spot and that spot. Let me speak to the important people because I'm galvanizing people one by one, city by city, territory by territory. So I'm creating relationships. Yeah. The DJ is bigger than just a DJ. He controls relationships, influence, and he has the connections of the network. And that's what we use, bro.
Network effects. And what you're saying is, of course, these things, this is why it's so hard to compete against the major labels as an independent, because as you just mentioned there, it's so, most people aren't, and I say this in the most admiring way, most people aren't crazy enough to go on this journey, embark on that journey themselves. And so most people, they say they're independent and they do they do 10%, 5% of what you did. And then they complain that it's impossible. The system is stacked against them. And to some extent, the system is probably stacked against them. But also you could say that they weren't willing to do the job. But we have to also talk about how all this was funded. because this is your detour to jail. How did you finance this?
So this is the good part about it. Before even the Fed case, I was rich. Before I even went to Agora, I was rich. I came from the physical therapy and the mental health world and the medical world. So I am the person that refers clients to physicians and clinicians. All right. These people that they provide services for, right? Just think about Medicaid or United Healthcare or whatever you want, right? I'm the person that refers clients to the hospitals. I'm a marketer, Asa. So if the hospital makes $100,000 off a client and they got to pay me 10%, that's $10,000. I just get rich off of being a referral client, bro. I've been doing that my entire life. They call it affiliate marketing. So I come from affiliate marketing, bro. I used to do network marketing, right? I used to sell a lot of products and build teams, and then I would get recurring revenue from all these teams that I built.
Yeah.
Been rich. I'm too smart to not be rich. So before I went to Agora, bro, I was young, right? And I was building these systems as I went. The money that I made from Agora, they never talk about my salary. My salary was fucking stupid, and my commission salary base was crazy as well. So I made an ungodly amount of money. 7 of us that were at Agora, we all had our own American Express accounts. I was the one young black guy, and then I had 6 other white dudes that were also billionaires now. Very, very rich guys. Yeah. The marketing budget that I used to build the same systems that I use for the music industry, I built it first for Agora. So you're asking me about these machines and streaming farms. I built it for Agora before I used it for the music industry, Asa. I used it for Agora to make sure that all their publishing content showed up #1 in Google so that they were able to eliminate their paid per click traffic and utilize my systems for organic traffic that converted better and made them crazy amounts of money. That same budget they did not want to be connected to, because if Google ever found out and banned them for doing illicit practices, not illegal, but for manipulating the search engine, they would have issues. Inside of Google, there's something called backlinks. Backlinks are hyperlinks on websites. That's why Wikipedia is one of the best websites in the world. All of those references are what you call hyperlinks, aka backlinks to other platforms. Everybody links to Wikipedia, which makes it the #1 website that shows up when you type in celebrities' names.
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Bots and streaming farms allow me to build backlinks. Those backlinks were hyperlinks of keywords that I used to link back to web pages of Agora's websites that allowed them to show up #1 in Google. So let's just say how to buy silver, Asa. And let's say msnbc.com/how to buy silver is #1 in the search engine. And it's getting 100,000 clicks a month. The first slot in Google gets 90% of the traffic. So now MSNBC is getting 90,000 clicks. Their business model is the ad business model. That means that you come to their website, and you can go there right now, Asa, and you can prove exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. When you go to MSNBC, it tells you that the things that you click on, they get paid a commission. I want you to do this after we get off the call and tell me whether I'm a genius or if I'm still crazy. They are telling you that they're advertising to you. So how can you trust the information that they're giving to you? We trust it because it says AP, Associated Press. We've been brainwashed to not realize that all they're doing is marketing to us. Also, what do you see on MSNBC? You see advertisements. So people pay to be in front of our eyeballs because of all the traffic that comes to their website. MSNBC has a business model where they can charge brands like me, you, Nike, Google to advertise on their platform. Everything is about advertisement. This entire phone call is about advertisement and me figuring out advertisement and influence. And you realizing that a young black kid from Baltimore is the smartest person in the world in advertisement. I'd lock me up too. It's just facts, bro. The radio stations are there to advertise to poor black folks who spend all of their money. We spend $2 trillion a year as a consumer, and our culture is broke. These are facts. This is not something that I'm making up. We have
but you had an American Express account with Agora for, which also seems insane to me that you could like freely use that amount of money.
You're not listening to me. I'm trying to break it down to you. The money was used to build advertising platforms for Agora. What they did not realize is that I then became an affiliate because that was not illegal to circumvent some of the money on these platforms we were testing.
They wanted distance from them to Google, so they wanted to use you as
the middleman, so that Google did not know that we were gaming the system. So if they ever got in trouble for the mechanisms and systems we were using, Asa, they would have a fall guy.
But then, what happened when they decided to sue you?
Nothing happened. They didn't sue me. They got sued, and then they threw me under the bus, and I went to prison. That's why you have to watch the Vice TV, and you have to study it, bro. Not just watch it. Michael K. Williams shows you what happened to Agora. They were using my systems to market to older folks about fake diabetes cures. So when they came to their website, they were looking for a cure, and they were looking to invest in all of these falsehoods. The testimonials were fake. The advertorials were doctored up and fake. And I was a part of helping them advertise advertorials based off of keywords to people that thought that it was legitimate because they found it in Google. All right. They gave me the American Express account because they did not want to be associated with the ad budget. And when I wanted to leave the company and go be independent after my 8-year contract, they told me that your black ass will never work in Baltimore again, and we will hit you with a lawsuit. Sounds crazy to you. If you play back this interview and do your research, it will make perfect sense. $4 million. I was there for 7 years, actually 8, 2011 to 2018, Asa. They signed off on those receipts, bro, every month for 96 months. There is no way on God's green earth that you can steal money, come into work every day, and somebody does not see it, know it, or care about it. It's impossible. Also, American Express has to be paid off in full every 30 days. Do your research, Asa. That means that every single month they watch charges that had to affect their bottom line. So what I did with the money that they gave me was that I used it in a kickback model that they knew about. And I did not know that what they were setting me up to do was to be the fall guy if I ever did something they did not want me to do or say. They were in compliance of what was happening, Asa, and it was genius. Because then they could call fraud on me if Google ever came to them and said, you've been building fake backlinks to rank high into our search engines, to hijack traffic so that you can sell Ponzi scheme products to senior citizens. Just facts. If you do your research, if you believe what you see on the internet and don't realize you're talking to a guy who can control what you see on the internet, then this is a more scary conversation for me than it started off to be. I can control what you see on Google. If you go in there and believe that that shit is authentic and it's organic, then you are worse than a sheep. You are a person that knows now. And I'm not saying you, but I'm just telling you how the game goes. Yeah, these forums that we have on the internet explain and show you what I'm talking about. But also this too, bro. There are guys that are also like me. I'm not the only me. So when I come and I speak on these things, it makes it a little bit difficult for us in the industry. But they also know that 99.9% of you guys are asleep. So no matter what I say, the sheep will stay asleep. It's some people that catch on. It's some people that make it difficult. All right. And that's just what it is, bro. Agora hit me with the $4.1 million. Actually, it was 1.3 because that was the money that was moved around to some of my other co-conspirators. That's how I was able to move the money and then to make the ad budgets not look like it was coming from Agora. I had a kickback system that they showed me how to engineer. Also, all the other guys who had American Express accounts used the money themselves for what we call entertainment and business expenses, cars, Bentleys, trips, traveling. So what I did was the same thing that they did. And when we went on these business trips, my partners at Agora would be there for 2 days, and then my friends would fly out for the other 5. And that's when we would shoot the music videos and the day in the lives and all this other stuff with certain things that I already had that was just sitting there collecting dust. It wasn't even that fucking difficult of a arrangement, bro. It just was what it was. It's just how it came, bro. And that American Express that you're talking about, I had my own unlimited American Express account. And like I told you, I was there from 2011 to 2018. It talks about me taking the money from 2015 to 2018. That means that I was doing no marketing from 2011 to 2015 that got me into that position, which would make no sense at all.
That I follow you on. It sounds strange, but before I let you go, I just like you've obviously you're an intelligent guy. This is a super interesting and inspiring conversation, and I think that people have to. I agree with you. They have to pay attention for this one because it's complicated. It's not very straightforward. But have you been contacted by other artists, labels that want your help?
Of course, I got 1,000 clients right now. I'm also a part of helping Kendrick do what he did for Drake. I'm a part of helping Drake do what Drake does for Drake. I'm the guy that built the machines, bro. I'm the one they call for the panels and the access to do this to this day. All right. I'm laughing because I might have to show you something that's going to mess your day up. Am I allowed to share my screen?
Yes, please. What are we looking at here?
I want you to describe what you think you're looking at to your audience.
Yeah, I'm looking. It seems like a server, some cars, some
Bugattis.
Bugattis, yes.
Yep. And those servers should be able to do what, Asa?
I'm guessing they're able to provide streams.
My man. And now that you don't have to guess, you have to say exactly what it is that you're looking at. Because it's almost like you're scared to say what you're looking at. I'm looking at the shit that generates streams where this guy is able to generate revenue and make crazy, ridiculous amounts of money with that revenue.
This is why I wanted so desperately wanted to talk with you, is that it's I think that most people, we don't see this. We don't understand what's really going on under the hood. We want to believe that everything is just glitz and glamour. Everything is just organic, and the powers that be, they will fight this. But then you're telling me, and I do believe, I 100% believe that you're right in that. Of course they do. Like, of course the major labels, like, they exist for one single reason, to make money for their owners.
Did you like baseball?
Baseball have never been a sport of mine. We don't have that in Norway.
Have you ever heard of Barry Bonds?
Yeah, well, I've heard about Barry Bonds, of course.
Did Barry Bonds ever admit to using steroids?
I don't know, but I think he's been busted, right?
Thank you. Now, did baseball profit billions of dollars from him hitting 70 home runs?
I would guess the whole league did, yes.
Thank you. So why not just say, hey guys, my name is Barry Bonds, I use steroids. And why won't baseball just say, you know what, we forgive you because we profited off of complying with this? Because everybody would rather lie. And if you lie, you don't have to admit to the truth. And if you don't admit to the truth, then everybody can stay delusional and we go about our business.
Yeah.
Right? I do not live in that world, bro. I'm from Baltimore, Asa. I see little kids smoke weed with fentanyl in it and die. I watch parents hit heroin. I watch people that are on crack. I watch grown adults that can't read. None of my friends went to college. I am the only one. So when you are the only one and you know how lonely it feels to be able to have the lifestyle, the success, the opportunities and exposure I have, and to look at your friends and family and to be like, damn, I wish you could just have one day in my shoes to see how it feels to be treated like a human being. You realize why Chad Focus exists. I am blessed. Nobody else that I love is blessed, Asa. That's why, bro, I fight so hard, bro.
It hurts me to hear you say this, but I understand from this conversation that you will, no matter what life throws at you, I think that you will land on your feet.
And you are amazing, bro. I had so much fun with this interview today. I did not expect you to have great questions or to know what was going on or know what you were talking about. But
well, I'm not sure. I'm sure if I do, but I'm very curious, and I think that I'm trying to follow you, and I think that your story is very inspiring, and you have, in my opinion, you've hacked the system. You're kind of revealing something that I think a lot of music interested people don't know about.
I want everybody that's a follower of yours, whoever watches this, right? Guys, I'm not crazy. I'm insane. I actually believe in what the fuck I say. And I know that I'm here for a purpose. So it's worse than being crazy and insane. I know that I'm touched and blessed by God and I'm moving in my purpose. Everybody else should figure theirs out and stick to it and just go with it without no questioning or without not believing in themselves or without being delusional. I delusionally believe that it's going to work. I said, that's why it does, bro, because I know he put me here for a purpose. I do not question him. Other part, the last part, in Vice, just for you, this last one, because I want to let you finish with what you want to say. In Vice TV, I said that this is the Matrix and that I am Neo.
Yeah.
And I meant it. And I was not joking, bro. I plug in and out of the matrix when I feel like it. Algorithms. I control the algorithms, guys. I can get seen when I want to get seen. I can help others get seen when they don't want to get seen, do want to get seen. There is a website. The website, Asa, is called socialblade.com. It is where you can go and find out if people are really as famous as they say they are or not. Your favorite celebrities all have bots. They all have fake followers because you guys want to believe they're somebody that they're not. That's why our favorite celebrities are all broke, because we've allowed them to lie instead of using their celebrity to create brands, income, and real influence. And that right there, bro, is the game that I am giving you. I am on a path to control and dictate influence for the better good of making an even playing field, because it is not fair that there is only me sitting at the table and they only want me at the party. I want everybody to have an opportunity that wants to work and dedicate themselves to having an opportunity. And I know it is not that fair. Worse than independent, elitists.
I agree. But this, I guess, because that was kind of where I wanted to end this, was with the ethics of it. But you kind of answered it there, is that you are saying that this is okay, like doing these things that you're doing. It's because like it's kind of cheating the system, but according to you, it's okay because the most powerful people, they are cheating the system. And the only way for us, the people who are not in power yet, to be able to eat and have a seat at the table, we have to follow the rules that they have laid down. And when they are cheating, the only way for us to be able to rise up is to cheat ourselves.
Thanks.
I'm paraphrasing
you.
Yes,
even worse. They're not cheating the system. The system is working perfectly. They created it, bro. Yeah. They created the fucking system. You say cheating, it's their shit. If you want to come and play over here, then this is what it is. You go do something else. Don't come and tell them how they're going to do what they're doing. That's where I think people went wrong. That is called entitlement. It's not your system, it's theirs. It's not your algorithm, it's theirs. So guess what? If they say likes, views, comments, watch time is the only reason we'll make you relevant in our algorithm on our Explore page, and you can't do it organically, you better fucking play by the rules or you get no traffic. And guess what? I hate a person that rather complain than do something about it. So no matter what you say or how you articulate what you try to say or what narrative you present, the rules are the rules. And guess what? I wish that the sky was red. It's blue. And no matter how fair or unfair it is, it will continue to be blue. I'd rather just accept it.
Chad, those last words, people should listen to this, go back a couple of seconds, because what you said there, I 100% agree with you with. I think a lot of, especially musicians, have a tendency to complain. We complain too much. What you did was to say, I could sit here and I can complain, because as you mentioned, unfortunately, earlier in this conversation, you said that you have a lot of stuff to complain about. You could sit there and you could just complain for the rest of your life. But what life would that be? And at some point, you just have to grab yourself by the neck and do something about it. And I think that's some wise words. So, Chad, I really have to go. You have to go. Thank you so much for your time. This has been awesome. I hope that people should listen to this once or twice. There was a lot here.
50 times.
50 times, ideally. Maybe we should put the bots on it. We'll see. Chad, thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you again, man. Nice
hey, yo, listen, man, big blessings, man. I appreciate you. I hope all is well in Norway. I hope that you can call some governor to allow me to visit one day, because I don't think that I'm allowed back inside the city. But you'll be a very powerful man, and you'll cheat the rules for me one day and make a call.
I'd love to have you here.
Thanks,
hope
man.
To see you, man.
Always love.
Bye-bye.
Always love.